The following program is a Perils for Pedestrians special presentation.
Hello, my name is Marcus Johnson. I want to welcome you to the Connecting the Dots. And I want to thank my man, George Leventhal, Honorable, for making sure that I have these great talking points as I just got off a plane from Los Angeles. But it is my honor to be here this evening. We're here for the following reasons this evening. The first is to announce that the coalition to build the Inner Purple Line has a new name, and that is the Purple Line Now. The second reason that we're here is to have a little fun. Now, are we doing that? That's what I'm talking about. The third is to raise money, and I'm happy to announce that we've raised more than $30,000 tonight. This is going to help to make a strong case to our legislators in Annapolis and Washington, D.C., and to our governor that we must build a new, fast, clean, safe, quiet, convenient transit system for Montgomery and Prince George's counties. And the final reason that we're here is to make sure that we can show all of our powerful support for the Purple Line. If we're going to attack our traffic congestion problem, if we are going to reduce greenhouse gases and fight global climate change, if we're going to improve the quality of life, if we are going to revitalize older communities, if we're going to achieve smart growth, we must have mass transit. We must have the Purple Line, and we need the Purple Line now. You know, I'm going to take a little bit of freedom here. Some of you all know that I grew up in Silver Spring, and how important Metro and all the lines are important to me. To this day, I laugh and I tell people, yes, I have a JD MBA from Georgetown. Yes, I've won awards. Yes, my record is sitting in the top 10 of Billboard right now. But when I go to my Rotary meeting, I jump on the Red Line. And I'll tell you this, I think about the times that I have not been able to ride any sort of mass transportation because I just don't have the time. And the Purple Line, to me, connects two growing communities. And these communities they're growing very fast. I was talking to the Honorable Valerie Irvin a little earlier about the way poverty is growing. And I don't think that people understand the macroeconomic effects that not having this Purple Line can do. And I think that we really need to see how we can revitalize these communities, small businesses, the business people, those who we need to staff those companies, both Montgomery County folk going to Prince George's County and Prince George's County folk going to Montgomery County. Because I tell you, I took the Z2 home back when I was at Blair. I took the 70 when I used to work and live in Silver Spring and go to Howard University. And it just opened up so many opportunities. I didn't even think twice about it. And that's why now, in a suit or in a sweatsuit, I'll jump on Metro bus, and I'm eagerly awaiting the Purple Line. And that's why the Purple Line now is going to increase its effort to meet with legislators. We need to make the case to the public and with the media. We need the media support. We need to build a strong presence and continue the presence that we have on the internet. I met a gentleman who does the Silver Spring blog right here. We need you, definitely. And to keep building support and a winning political strategy to get this transitway built. And I see too many people whose names I don't know, but I know they're important. So I'm going to stick to my script on that. But I have to call out my buddy. Is that Al Wynn right there? The Honorable Albert Wynn. That's my buddy. Are we hanging out together now? I've seen you everywhere. And it's great. So you know me. I'm going to be picking on you. All right. Just so we have that straight. And he knows I'm not scared to pick on him too, you know. So now we're going to call up to the microphone several representatives so that they can discuss the components that make up the broad coalition. One of Maryland's strongest and most respected environmental advocates, Mike Tidwell, Director of Chesapeake Climate Action Network and the U.S. Climate Energy Council.
You know, we didn't get this far by just having one event on a Wednesday night. We got this far because a lot of people put a lot of time into this. And I want to begin my comments as a climate activist, as someone who takes global warming extremely seriously, who takes 94 degrees yesterday very, very seriously in terms of my 10-year-old son, who takes record drought, record weird weather here in Maryland and across the United States very seriously, and know that we need a purple line. And that's why I am in such debt. And we all express a lot of gratitude to George Leventhal for all the work that he's done to get us this far. Definitely Ben Stutz. Where's Ben? Raise your hand. Colleen Mitchell, done enormous work here. Webb Smedley. And of course, Harry Sanders. Let's give them all a big round of applause. We lost an unbelievable, an astonishing, a shocking amount of Arctic ice this summer in the North Pole. The Arctic is now, there are some scientists who predict there will be no Arctic ice in the summertime by the summer of 2013. No Arctic ice. And as a consequence, you're going to see more droughts, more floods, more catastrophic heat waves. And how do we address this problem? By switching to clean, efficient energy and giving people non-car options for transportation. I know there have been many times, and I will admit it, that I have driven to Bethesda when I would have loved to just gotten on the Purple Line. I mean, we've all done that. We feel it every time we get in a car. We read the articles about climate change in the Washington Post and on the cover of National Geographic, but we're in a hurry, and there's baseball, and there's Kiwanis Club, and there's dance lessons, and we have to get in our cars because we don't have time to make the whole horseshoe downtown and come back on the Red Line. This will mean an enormous savings on greenhouse gases. This will be an enormous improvement in quality of life. It's been way too long that we've lived without this obvious need for the Purple Line. And the thing we have to do now is not believe in our hearts that the state government can do it. We can't just believe that the federal government can do it. We can't just believe that George Leventhal and the county council can do it. You have to believe that you can do it. If you really believe that you can do it, you citizens of Montgomery County and D.C. and Prince George's County, if you believe you can do it and you can make the calls and you can send the emails and you can come to the rallies and you can tell your friends and you can talk to your Congress people, if you believe you can do it, then we'll get it. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Tidwell. You know, he made some very good points. I often talk about the fact that I'm a self-proclaimed nerd. And the reason that I am, or one of the reasons, or because of that, I actually memorized the Constitution when I was in law school. And one of the things that is so very important is the preamble. All you needed, those two sentences right there. We, or actually the one, we the people of the United States in order to create a more perfect union. And what he's talking about right there, he's talking about the we. Talking about we always give it up as soon as we get out of the voting booth and say now it's their problem. Well, the problems are coming home. And until we become activists, citizen activists, there's nothing that's going to happen. So I want to thank you for your words, Mr. Tidwell. Now I'd like to welcome to the microphone a powerful and dynamic leader for working people in our region, Jocelyn Williams, President of the Metropolitan Washington Council, AFL-CIO.
Good evening, brothers and sisters. Thank you. I just want to make sure that this noise resonates all across Montgomery County, Prince George's, and into Annapolis. Because for us in the labor movement, the issue is not whether we should have a purple line. That is really an issue that should have been settled long ago, and in our minds in the working community has been settled. It's a no-brainer. The issue should be now when we have a purple line and how we fund the purple line. It is not whether we should have a purple line. Workers in this region who are the backbone of the economy must rely on an economic way of getting to work and also of enjoying the fruits of their labor by being able to take their family out during their off time to enjoy the community that they live and work in. Workers cannot afford to pay the high cost of gas, They can hardly afford to pay the high rent that has invaded the Washington area. More and more of our members are spreading further and further out into the region. How can they link between their home and their work? Not by car, not by plane. It has to be by an economic way that makes it possible for them not to spend 50% of their income on transportation. The line that we have built over the last 20 to 25 years has made it possible for working people in this region to be able to connect with their jobs. The Purple Line is merely but one more extension of that ability to connect the workplace with the home. Workers need the Purple Line. Workers have to have the Purple Line. And if somehow or the other our elected official can't get it through their cranium that this is a no-brainer, then the answer simply has to be that we find more intelligent individuals and we don't have to be spending a night like tonight rallying about how we get a Purple Line built. But that we do get the Purple Line built on time and get workers to be able to enjoy the work fruits of their labor. So I hope, and I'm here tonight to say to each and every one of you, you can count on the labor movement to be with you, not only at rallies, but also to be with you come election time when we say to politicians, and I know there are many of them here, but when we say to them, it is time to ante up. It is time to pony up. And if you can't do that, then maybe you ought to find another way of livelihood. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you, Brother Williams. Wow. Wow and now, right? Go together, okay. Wow. Moving on. The next person to the microphone will be the charming and persuasive voice of the business community in Maryland's largest county, Gigi Goodwin, president of the Montgomery County Chamber of Commerce.
Good evening, everybody. All right, great. Hi, I'm Gigi Godwin, and I'm honored to serve as President and CEO of Montgomery County Chamber of Commerce and delighted to be invited here. Before I say one more thing, however, I'd like to recognize my colleagues, Jane Redeker of the Silver Spring Chamber and Janan Italiano, Bethesda Chevy Chase Chamber. Please raise your hand so we can see you, and thank you for being here tonight. We all work together. All of us work hard on behalf of the business community, and I'm proud this evening to be able to say that we're representing thousands of businesses, business owners who have employees that they and themselves need to get to work every day, and we all know how much the Purple Line will benefit them. And if they're going to benefit from the Purple Line, what do we need to do? Would you join me, please? Let's say it. We need to build the Purple Line now. What do we say? Build the Purple Line now. For communities around the nation and around the world, transportation infrastructure is the key to commerce. Commerce is the key to success. And as a community and as a region, we cannot be economically competitive in the future without the ability to move people, move goods, move services. And in order to attract those talented people in the region, we must provide them with transportation options that allow them to be a part of this vibrant community. We cannot continue to support a community that is ranked, what is it, Lon? Number 2 in the nation in traffic congestion. But there's something we can do about it. What is it we need to do? Build the Purple Line now. That's what we need to do. And what do we need to do that? Well, we know it's going to cost something. And we really need an infusion of at least $600 million, and that's for starters, into that Transportation Trust Fund to jump-start construction on this critical project. The Purple Line is not just another transit project. It's an investment in this community's future. We look forward, don't we all? Don't we look forward to working with our elected officials to do what? Build the Purple Line now. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. And it is my distinct honor and pleasure to introduce a very dear friend for many, many years, and Maryland's own comptroller, Peter Francho. Thank you.
What a difference one election can make. We have a great new governor who's in favor of the Purple Line, who's replacing my favorite opponent, Bob Ehrlich, who I remember Bob saying the reason he opposed the Purple Line because he really liked to play golf. And we have replacing the infamous Bob Flanagan, an incredible public servant, John Picari, as Secretary of Transportation. And I salute William Donald Schaefer wherever I go around the state, but it's good to, I think, have someone who for 20 years, like many of you, has advocated for the Purple Line. I'm delighted to be your comptroller. A lot of people said that a blue wave swept over Maryland in the last election. I like to think of it more as a purple wave. And I think now, though, we need to roll up our sleeves and really say that the time for games is over. And the time for delay, and the time for political shifting of one foot to the other, that time has passed. And we need to get this project done now. And I am delighted to see the turnout. All of my colleagues who are here are elected officials who have been such great advocates in their own, each and every one of them, for this project. But to see representatives of labor joining with representatives of the business community, joining with representatives of the environmental community, joining with people like Gustavo Torres from CASA, who, after all, represents the people that we're trying to help with this project, the vulnerable people who live in this region who need the Purple Line as a lifeline, really, to get from home to work or from home to school. So, Gustavo, thank you for being here, and thank each of you for joining in this tremendous coalition. And I see Tom Perez, who was an early champion. This project started in 1987 when William Donald Schaefer came over and offered Montgomery County $75 million for the Georgetown branch, and we turned him down. No, I'm only kidding. We analyzed it in our inimitable Montgomery County way. But now we need to get serious with everyone in this room. I'm looking forward to continuing my advocacy for this great project, working with the elected officials. I have never, ever been to an event where not only I brought a $500 check from my campaign, but all the other elected officials brought money from their campaigns. Believe me, there is no cheaper group in the world than elected officials with their campaign funds. So, all credit to the coalition that you've put together. And this year, we're going to push this project into fruition. We hear a lot of talk about the ICC and all the political power behind the ICC. The Purple Line is every bit as important as the ICC, and we're going to get it built this year. Thank you very much. And I'd like to have all the elected officials come up and stand here We're going to have Congressman Al Wynn come and speak, but if Secretary of Labor Tom Perez could come up, and Senator Brian Frosch, Senator Robert Garagiola, come on up. Senator Jamie Raskin, Senator Paul Pinsky, a great champion for this project. Delegate Bill Bronrott, Brian Feldman, Anna Sol Gutierrez. Anna Sol, welcome. Sheila Hickson, Tom Hucker, Ben Kramer, please come up. Heather Mazier, Jocelyn Pena-Melnick, Victor Ramirez, Susan Lee, please come up. Will Campos and Tom Dernoga. From the Council of Montgomery County, Roger Berliner, Valerie Irvin, someone who will go down in history as having saved the Purple Line once it's built, and I hope he gets to cut the ribbon all by himself, George Leventhal. Dutchy Trachtenberg, Mark Elrich, Nancy Florine, Marilyn Praisner, Kathy Porter, the mayor of Tacoma Park, Midi Figueroa, who is representing Chris Van Hollen's office. Any other elected official, please come up. Derek Berlage, where is he? Come on up, Derek. Who? Yeah, I'm going to. How can you miss Al Wynn? I'm going to introduce Al Wynn. Wait a moment, because for the 15 years that he's been in office, Al Wynn has been a supporter and a fighter for mass transit, for our communities. Most importantly, he's been a great champion for this project. I'm happy to support him, as so many other people are, in his continued work and tenure in the Congress. He's a subcommittee chairman. He has leverage, he has clout, and he's a wonderful champion of this project. Albert, come on up and say a few words. I'll stay here. Good to see you.
Thank you very much. Peter, that was so nice, all except the part about how can you miss Al Wynn. That part had a double edge that I'm not so sure about. but thank you, seriously. It's been a pleasure to work with you over the years. Ladies and gentlemen, I am delighted to be here, to be part of the team. Because as you look at this group here, you see a team of people that are committed to this project. When you hear Gigi Godwin and Josh Williams representing the business community and representing labor, you know that we have a tremendous team. Everybody gets it. I think Josh said it is a no-brainer. But it is truly a team effort. As I came up the walkway, I noticed a big sign. It's a great sign that says, United for the Purple Line. And we are indeed united for the Purple Line. But we're also, in another sense, united for the future, because that's what the Purple Line represents. It represents our future here in the Washington, D.C. suburbs. At the federal level, I was very pleased to get the federal authorization in the 2005 Transportation Reauthorization Bill. But that's just the first step. Without these folks, we can't get it done. We've got to get environmental impact studies. We've got to get alignment decisions made. We need the secretary, and I want to take a moment to thank him for his leadership on this project, because we've got to make sure that we've got the right demand, so that once we've got all the pieces together, the federal funding money comes to go with the authorization. I have no doubt that it will. It's been my pleasure to work with my colleague, Chris Van Hollen, on this project, and I think working together, we're going to get this thing done. Let me just mention something. When I said this is planning for the future, it goes without saying that this is a transportation project to ease road congestion, to get cars off the road. But in the last few years, we've been really cognizant of another problem, global warming. And now we understand that this project is part and parcel of our efforts to combat the threat of the reality of global warming. So we need this project for a lot of reasons: a cleaner environment, energy independence, transportation, moving working people to job centers in Montgomery and in Prince George's County. Just to give you an indication of the fact that people get it, we're still trying to build it, and I've got people down in Prince George's wanting to add another alignment. Why not break it from Largo to New Carrolton? I said, whoa, folks, let's get the first leg built. But people understand, transit is the wave of the future. We've got a great transit center coming here in Silver Spring. This connects to that. as someone said earlier, it connects all the dots. So I'm just pleased to be here as part of the team. I want to also single out George Leventhal for his enduring leadership. We know who you are and we know what you've done. But he's done a great job, along with many, many others. I'm very pleased to be here and turn the program at this time back to my distinguished colleague. I think you're doing the next introductions. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Congressman. I also want to recognize City Councilman Ruben Snipper. Is he here? Come on up. Great, terrific. Thank you, Ruben, for being here. One of the great advantages of having this wonderful new Democratic governor is that we not only have his leadership, but he gets to appoint people to important agencies. And obviously, Tom Perez, we're very proud of at Dollar, but I have to say that the next speaker is probably the finest public servant I've ever met in my career. And I got so sick of correcting Bob Flanagan that it is not the Bi-County Transit Way. It is not rapid bus transit to nowhere. It is the Purple Line, and I'm delighted that we're going to be able to hear from one of the most outstanding state officials in the history of the state of Maryland, John Picari, who needs no introduction.
Thank you, Peter. That was very kind. Undeserved, but very kind. Good evening, everyone. And on behalf of Governor O'Malley, it is great to be here today. It is great to be saying the words Purple Line again. It's great to be focused on the business of doing the technical work, working with communities, resolving the issues so we can get it done. No big project is easy, but look around this crowd. Look at the elected officials and the support we have, and then look at the need that we have. We have no alternative. Governor O'Malley is a very strong supporter of the Purple Line. He is absolutely committed to it. And together, we can do anything. We will get the Purple Line built. I'm very happy to be a small part of that. Thank you.
Well, I want to thank each and every one of you all for coming out here tonight. Are you all pumped up now? All right. You know we have to do some kind of thing. It's a rally. So what do we need? We need the Purple Line, baby. Come on now. What do we need? When do we need it? One more time. What do we need? And when do we need it? You all take care. Much love. I'm Marcus Johnson. Thank you, George Leventhal, and all of the elected officials. We'll have this and make it a reality. Much love. Peace.
Visit us on the internet at www.pedestrians.org.